Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to look at doing kitchen cabinets, lowers on this particular video, and just creating them out of Vetric, if you had nothing else other than Vetric. This is going to be a part of a series of a number of videos that I go through talking about different softwares to build kitchen cabinets, whether it be on a CNC or on cutting out by hand. There's some of these will be work in either application, but primarily kind of more focused on if you're going to do it on a CNC. So today we're going to look at Vetric. So we're going to create we're going to start out first and do a cabinet that will have, we're going to just do the lower cabinet, and actually we'll do the side, and then we'll do the associated parts that come with that. So first thing we'll do is we're going to create a new file, and with that new file, and I'm going to set this up for a 24 by 36 cabinet, or excuse me, job size, because that's the basic size of the side of the cabinet. It'll just make it a little bit easier rather than working on a 4 by 8 sheet, moving around, and 0.715, excuse me, 0.715. Let's see if I can repeat that 3 times. 0.71 for our thickness is a typical thickness for the sheet goods I normally get. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to do off material surface, and then we're going to do our XY datum point at the lower left. And that's what will be our starting point. So the first thing we're going to do, so we've got our, approximately the size of our side of our lower cabinet, is we're going to go up and we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw a rectangle. Now, I set this up so this lower corner down here is going to be my 0, 0. And I'm going to use that to reference off a lot of the stuff when I go ahead and do my layout. So we're going to go ahead, and I could do a drag drop and put my box in there, but I can do 0, 0 for my anchor point. I need to change it down to lower left, and then I can do my width at 23.25 inches, so that'll get us a 24-inch cabinet once we've finished. And then we're going to do 34.5 inches for our height, and that'll give us finish height of approximately 36 inches for our cabinet. So that's our starting point. So now we have a box in there, so we can go ahead and close this out. The next thing we're going to do is that we're going to create some guides, and the guides are going to help us lay out where our various dados are going to go, where our toe kit's going to go, where our drawer stretchers are going to go. Helps us lay everything out. So if we go up here and we click our left mouse button at the top, and then we can drag down. So I can drag down to, and I'm not going to make it exact, but I'm going to drag it down somewhere in this range here. Now that's not exactly where I want it. If I right click on that, you can see my position is at 6.5 inches. Well, I want that to be 4. So I can just click in 4. And it's going to, so what my selected guide is, I apply that. Now that moves it to 4 inches. So because it is measuring off the bottom and the back, I know that, that's 4 inches. And that's where I want my toe kick to be. So close that. And then we'll come over here and we'll drag another one in here. Again, we'll drag it over past where we actually want it. We'll right click on that. This one I want to do at 3/4 of an inch, 0.75, because 0.75 inches. So that'll give me 3/4 of an inch off the back of the cabinet, and then we'll apply that. Close that. So that is going to be, we did 3/4 because we're going to put our nailers on the back of it, and then put our back panel in front of the nailers, if that makes sense. So these are going to be how we're going to lay out our dados. We'll close that. Next one we want to do is I want to bring it in from the top here. and I'm going to do this one a little bit different. So I'm going to do, I'm going to line it up. I've got it lined up on this top line here, and I double click that, and I want to do a relative to that point. I want to do 0.75 inches. And it's going to create a new guide. But I went positive. I should have gone negative. So if I put a negative, now I created a line 3/4 of an inch below where I put that first one. So we'll go up here and close these out. We're going to delete that guide and delete that guide. We don't need those. Those were by accident. The next one we want to do is I want to have for my toe kick. So I come in again, left mouse button off the sides there, and I can go to there, and I am going to go ahead and there's a couple different ways. So this is, I want to be 3.5 inches in from here, so I could do either on a relative position to that one or an absolute position. So this one, I've got my selected guide. I'm actually going to move this one. So I want it to be 3.5 inches to the left, which would be on the negative. So if I subtract my 3.5 off my 23.25, which was where I'm at, and that's my panel width. If I go to 22.5 inches. That's 3/4 back. That's actually not where I want it. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go ahead and my guide is in the wrong location. Some days, so we're going to bring this one back, and we're going to try this one more time. So that guide currently is at 23.75 of an inch. I need to be 3.5 inches less than that, which would be 19.75. So if I do 19.75, apply, that is going to move that guide 3.5 inches back from that panel, from that front of that panel. Okay, so we've got that one. The next one I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab this one here. This is going to be the bottom of my shelf pins. So I want to do a relative guide, and I want to be 6 inches up from there. So there's that one. I want to do one more. So that's going to be where my shelf pin holes start on the bottom. And then this one, I want to come in. I want about 2.5 inches. So I want plus 1/4 inch for my back because I haven't accounted for that. So 2.75 inches. Create a new guide. Close. So there's that one. Now from this point, I'm going to go ahead and go up to my guidelines, and I'm going to lock all these guidelines because I don't want these moving, and it's easy enough to move these around. So, all right. So the next thing we want to do is start creating our dados. So the first one we're going to do is our lower. So we'll go up and create a box, and I want to create this box. If I click on here at 0 my X and 4 my Y gets me 4 inches up from my 0 and in there. But that's not actually where I want it. So I want to actually start at, my X is going to be at -2 and minus 2.25. My Y is going to be at 4. My anchor point is going to be on the bottom. My height is 0.71, and my length should be, if I do a quarter, 23.75 inches, because our panel is 23.25, and I want to add a quarter in each direction. So let's see what that does. Close that. So yeah, so that did what we wanted it to do. So I have my dado is going to run a 1/4 inch past in this direction and a 1/4 inch past in this direction. It's 0.71 inches tall and runs past. So we're good on that one. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this. I'm going to start doing the layers as I go along here. So this will be our B dado for our bottom. I don't have to see that anymore. So my next one is going to be, I'm going to go back up to my drawing tool. I'm going to hit F for fit and get me back up to the right size. And I am going to do another box. This time I'm going to come from, and I've got my snapping on, so it's snapped to 0.75 and 4 inches. And I'm going to bring that up. I want a 1/4 inch. And because that should work, let's see. I want to be, let's see what happens when we go to 30 inches. That should work out fine. So we've got 30 inches in there. And it will bring it up about a 1/4 inch pass up into where our dado is up there. Down here, this is actually, if we actually turn our layers back on, that's going to extend down in, so when it cuts this, these will be at the same depth, but it will extend down in there. So this could actually be up a little bit higher. It's 3/4 inch one way or another, but so F to fit again. So now we've got that highlighted. Go up to our drawing tool. We're going to move this to another layer. And I just realized my B dado is not going to work. So this is going to be our back dado. F to fit again. That's when it's nice having it just on a smaller side. I can zoom in and out, and just with some keyboard strokes get back to where I need to be pretty quickly and get out to the full extent of the drawing. So we've got our back and our bottom done. So I'm going to do 2 more here, and these are going to be my stretchers at the top. So I am going to go up again, hit up in here, zoom up. And it created a box I didn't want. So I want this to be 3/4, and I'm going to go to 4 1/4. Now this one I can actually see it, so I can just drag and drop in there. So I can apply that. Now that, so again, 3/4 of an inch, excuse me, by 4 1/4 inches is going to be my dado cut for this. We're going to make our stretchers actually at 4 inches, and then that'll help a lot, so we don't have to worry about putting fillets or something on there. Then I'm going to come all the way across to the front here, and I'm going to grab up here, drag back to 4 1/4 inches, and you can kind of see I've got the 475. There we go. We want to do a gap of 5 inches. So I want 5 inches between them, so not the offset. I want the gap. So we'll copy that. Now we're 5 inches between. So if I come in here and measure, now we're 5 inches between when I get that big. So that will be what I'd normally do for the height for a top drawer. Now we're going to make this panel universal, so it could be for a sink, it could be for a normal base, it could be for a bank of drawers. So I think what we'll do here is, since we're already in that mode, we're going to do here, and I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do a couple more down here. So I've done 3 rows, so it added 2 more. So now I've got stretcher spots for top, second drawer, third drawer, and this would be the bottom drawer. Bottom drawer is a little bit bigger. These you would want to, when it gets to that point, if you want to create your different size drawers, you would turn these on and off in your layering when you're doing your tool path. So we'd want to make these bottom 2, and maybe we'll make these bottom 2 on a different layer. So if we highlight these, we want to close this, and we'll go to move to layer, new layer, now we can add, so that'll be a new layer. So we can turn that layer off so that doesn't show up. We'll grab those 3, and we're going to make those a new layer. So we'll move to a layer, new layer. And we'll do these top dados. Back to our drawing, F to fit. So we can start looking like a cabinet here a little bit. We've got our dados for first drawer, and our tops and our bottoms, our back dado, and if we want to add additional drawers, we can do that. And so the next thing that we want to do is I want to go ahead and get back in these layers. I want to get rid of everything I don't need, and I want to get this toe kick put in. Now this toe kick can vary in size, 3 to 4 inches in either direction. There's some standards, but there's always deviations from the standards. So if we go in here, and there's a couple of different ways we're going to do it. We're going to just do, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to drop a poly line, and I'm going to let it go past. Hit it. And then I'm going to go and do another poly line. Go past. Oh, now we've got our lines in there to distinguish our toe kick. We can go in the interactive vector tool or the scissors and rejoin. Make sure that's clicked on. And click, click, click. Now we have a toe kick. And we have one more to do. So there is our outline of our cabinet. We'll close that, and we'll click on that vector, and we're going to move this to a new layer. We'll call this profile cut. So if we go back into our layers here again, we've got, I still have layer 1 on, and if you look at the sides over here, you can see these shows little groups in the different layers, and this one has nothing on there. That means there is actually no data on that layer. We've moved everything off of there, and eventually we can get rid of that layer, or we can rename it to something else. But we can, there's our bottom dado, back dado. The drawers that we're going to add down the road, our top 3 dados, and our outside profile cut. The only other thing now we have to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show that down. Is we'll go F to fit again, go up to the drawing tab. F to fit is I need to create a circle, and we're going to do a diameter of 197, 194. I think 194 is actually closer to 5 millimeters. It doesn't make a lot of difference because we're doing it when we do this. We're not actually drilling to the size of the hole. We're actually using the center and doing a drill with a 5 millimeter hole. So we're going to come down into here, and we're going to line up until we, right there. So there's our first shelf pin hole, and again F to fit, and now we're going to do an array copy. And let's see, we want to do an offset on this one of 2 inches in the Y, and we're going to do, let's do 8 rows in 1 column. And that looks pretty good. You can kind of play with this however you want. Some people don't like 2-inch spacing. Some want to go closer, 1.25 inches. It's really your preference. This may be, a lot of times you may only have 3 holes on a lower cabinet. But anyway. So now we're going to go ahead and grab all those. And then we're going to do Control Copy, Control V. Hold our, I didn't want to do that. Undo my move. Hold my control button down until I get where I think I want it. So that's about even. Let's see what we end up being there. Or 2.25 inches off the front. That should be fine. That should be enough to do it. So F to fit. We'll go ahead and grab all of these. Move to layer. I'm going to call these drill. We can go up to our guidelines and turn them off. And I think we have our everything for our sides. At this point, I want to go ahead, and this is going to be, if you're facing the cabinet, this is going to be the right side of the cabinet. So now we need to create the left side of the cabinet. So what I can do is I can grab all of everything that's in here, go up to drawing, and then I want to create a mirrored image. And I want to go to the left, close. There we go. I have a mirrored image now. So I have an identical right and left, and so I had my layers off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back this out. I didn't have that added drawers, so I'm going to undo the mirror, grab it once again. Now I've got everything because I had those 2 extra shelves for doing added drawers. Now I go up there and go up to the mirrored selected objects, and I'm going to go to the left. Now I have an exact copy, both the right and the left, for my cabinets. So my sides are done, and now we need to go ahead and create our tops and bottoms and figure out how that's going to work.